But you enjoy the job itself, right? Paladudes.
Yeah.
So you do feel, you said you feel more fulfilled doing Paladudes.
Yeah, I feel, but the reality is, man, I feel fulfilled because I'm working for myself. I'm making money for myself. It's not for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not like millions of dollars, right? But I feel like this is on me. It's on my shoulders. Somebody else isn't talking into my ear. I get to control my day. If I want, I can take a month and go travel. I can go do stuff, right? I have flexibility.
But I'm sure you feel good when like customers buy stuff from you, or if they're really looking for something and you give them a good deal, like that gives you fulfillment.
I think what's fulfilling is I'm able to give people quality products for cheap. I think that's a cool thing.
So just the hustle of entrepreneurship gives you fulfillment. It's not necessarily the products you provide.
Exactly. It's not because think about it. I do Paladin's my baby because it's the first thing that's worked for me.
Mhm.
That's why. But I mean, I'm interested in doing this Fresh and Fit smoothie trailer, right? It's not the product, the mission for this Fresh and Fit smoothie. That's what's interesting to me. Not the smoothie, but like the idea of giving people a healthy lifestyle choice. That's interesting to me. The podcast. It's a business. In reality, this is going to be a business. And the interesting to me is I enjoy talking to people and what can come out of this. That's cool to me.
Actually, I want to make this an NGO. I want to make it
NGO?
a nonprofit.
Fine. They end up making a lot more money than for profit. So good.
No
Let's
money
do it.
funneling. I want to make this an NGO that supports up and coming comedians in Pakistan.
In Pakistan, there's gonna be zero guests.
Yes.
Zero guests.
No. What do you mean guests? There'll be so many kids that'll sacrifice their lives for comedy in Pakistan, I'm sure.
Not a single one, buddy.
No, I think it'll grow there eventually.
Eventually, it will.
So, when you lay down, you're
Yeah.
thinking about not working. Not the regular mundane of the day. I messed up that word, but
No,
yeah.
mundanity. The work is equivalent to the grind to me. So like Paladudes
So then, what do you look forward to?
every day.
Yeah,
The future, bro.
where you're not working.
Where I'm not grinding, bro. Right now, if you were to look into my brain, it's like it just constant anxiety, dude.
But the grind never stops ever.
No, but there's a time where I'll have some freedom. There's a time where Paladudes, and I think it's coming, right? There's a time this lease done in a year. I'm gonna grow out of this, right?
Mhm.
And when that happens, I'll have employees. And when I get employees, I'm not going to have to be doing the day-to-day grind.
So that's what it is. You're as somebody who just started a business recently.
Yeah.
What, about 2 years?
Two
right?
and a half years, yeah.
2.5 years. You're having to do everything by yourself. So you're the laborer. You're the physical guy lifting things up. You're everything.
I
You're
have
the
to be the brains and
salesperson.
the brawn.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're doing. I get it. So you enjoy doing the brains, but you don't enjoy the labor work.
Yeah.
The reaching out to people, the sales aspect of it in certain respects.
Exactly.
You'd rather just be a CEO, manage people, think long-term strategy, make
Of
important
course.
decisions.
And also time flexibility to reach into like the business broker stuff. I enjoy that. I enjoy talking to high level people, like speaking to doctors, speaking to CEOs or VCs. I feel like there's a place for me there.
So you don't feel like you have a work-life balance right now?
Work-life balance. I don't like to think of it like that. I just like to think of it just I got to do what I got to do.
So
Right now.
your life is not in equilibrium right now.
No.
Okay, which is fine. Like,
Yeah,
it's not
that's
a
just what
bad
it is.
thing.
Yeah.
I would actually argue to get somewhere in life, your life cannot be at an equilibrium
agree
the
with you.
entire time.
Yeah.
You can't have a balance in everything. You got to sacrifice.
The first 5-10 years of starting something, there is no balance.
So you are sacrificing some things right now.
Yeah, bro, my sanity, dude. I haven't, dude. I love to surf. I love to go mountain bike. I haven't done any of this, bro, in a year and a half now.
So you've sacrificed all your hobbies, basically.
Everything,
Even working out legs day.
even working out, right now.
Yeah.
Like,
You don't have time to work out at all.
I'm working out like twice a week right now, dude.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's bad.
You're going to
dude.
die, man.
And not necessarily because
You're gonna die, dude.
I'm definitely not gonna die.
You're gonna die at that rate.
Something I do when I work out though,
Yeah.
is I'll work out more is if I'm seeing something physically like decline in my body. Like that's what I will do.
That's such a retarded
It's true.
response. So you're telling me when you go in the shower, you look at yourself, you're like, damn, bro, the abs are kind of lacking. I want
Yeah.
abs.
100%.
It's all aesthetically.
Right now it's aesthetic.
What about
yeah.
if you feel weak in a certain body part?
If I start to feel like sluggish, yeah, I'll work out. If I start to feel sluggish or the bottom two abs aren't showing as much,
Then
that's
you...
when I'm jumping back in. Honestly, God bless, bro. Because if I was in my 30s doing this, oh, dude, there's no way I can go 2 weeks without my abs like showing still. If I don't work out for 2 weeks, like my late 30s, oh, dude, I'm toast. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Because
So right now,
metabolism, it's
metabolism
good right
slows
now.
down. So it's a good thing that's happening now where I'm actually grinding, so I don't have to worry about that as much.
As you will later.
Yeah.
So there's been times where you just didn't work out for weeks.
Yes,
Interesting.
100%.
That's wow. That's good. If a person in their 20s is sacrificing the things that they really enjoy and love, that means they're aspiring towards something that they want to chase and be at. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
What is something like, do you, like, for me, like I have specific like things I think about. Do you think about those things, or you just think about like laying down on the beach or just not having to
What
wake
do you
up?
think about?
I'm asking you first. I'll talk about mine, but let's
Certain things that I think about?
Yeah, do you think about certain things, or you don't have to? Like Matt in 2030, right?
Yeah.
2035.
Like, do I have certain aspirations of what I want?
No, I'm just saying, like, when you're laying down, right?
Yeah.
Like you're thinking about not working. So what does that not working entail? Like, describe to me the place you're in. Like, visualize. Put me in your shoes, like
I see.
in your future fantasy, which you're working towards reality.
Yeah.
You're trying to make your fantasy a reality, right?
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Okay. What I visualize is pallet dudes, because I think this is the thing. It's working. I've described this in the past. I think I'm getting more and more to this conclusion. I don't want this to be the biggest liquidation business out there. Mm-hmm. Like a true, like there's some, I was talking to some sources this morning, and some of these guys,
what does that mean?
Source? Sorry, let's just say suppliers. I was talking to some suppliers this morning. Big suppliers, right? They do a lot more revenue than me, and the reason is because they sell in higher quantities. So they sell by truckloads. Okay, truckloads. It's a good business because it's more guaranteed. There's more money coming in. So if you sell, 5 truckloads a month, you've already made $5,000 that month. Yeah. But you've only done 5 truckloads. Does that make sense? 5 truckloads of inventory.
Right.
Versus me, I have to go through 60, 70 pallets per month. Right. To make more, a little more, but for another 5,000, I have to go through 40 pallets a month to make
do 2 truckloads a month.
Roughly.
Yeah.
This month was slower, but yeah, roughly 2 truckloads a month. And to do 40 pallets, which is like a truck and a half, I'll make that 5,000 that they're making in 5 truckloads. Does that make sense? That's a lot more time.
Just
a lot
the volume
more energy.
difference, yeah.
The difference is there's a lot more stress in truckload sales because you're constantly keeping up. You're constantly dealing with customers wanting more and having to get more inventory in. So it's like the game is different. The game is, for them, truckload sales, push it out, push inventory, fast. And fast is extremely exhausting, dude. It's extremely exhausting. Me, I can balance speed and I can balance quality. Right? I'm able to make those diversions, those shifts. Does that make sense? Because I'm selling, the speed for me is the pallets. When I sell pallets, I can move those fast. But the quality for me, or more money, I should say, is going to be the piece by piece items, like the bathtubs I sell, the flooring I sell, the tools I sell. So my point, I guess I don't know what I'm getting at here. My point in this is,
what are you trying to say?
My goal isn't to grow to one of these like major liquidation guys. Yeah, major liquidation guys. Make this bigger, a little bit bigger, double, triple the size here. Get a couple employees.
This is a means to an end.
This is a means to calm in my brain, I think.
But you say you don't feel calm at all. You feel anxiety.
Right now. Yeah. What I'm saying is like this,
eventually,
if I grow to the 2-3x, there will be a more calm because I don't have to worry about finances.
Okay.
Does that
get
make more
that.
sense?
Yes.
That's what I mean by the grind. Like I want to get to a point where I don't have to worry about my finances, that is just flowing, so I can focus on things that are true interest to me. I can, live in a nice place, drive a nice car without having to fucking get to the warehouse, work 12 hours a day, move pallets, lift 300 pounds on my fucking back. This is all stuff I have to do, bro.
Yeah.
I do this shit every single day. You guys see the stuff where I ask you for help. When you guys aren't here, you guys help me once a month, do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
When you guys aren't here, I'm doing that all by myself, bro.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, dude.
You gotta get your back checked out.
It happened, but point is, like, that's a sacrifice, right? Once I get to a point where I don't have to worry about all that, I can focus genuinely on the podcast, genuinely on the smoothie thing, growing the smoothie thing. Like, there's not so much pressure.
So because the business is still growing, you have this pressure of constantly being profitable every month. And
Yes.
getting rid of stuff that comes in. And
Yes.
keeps you up at night sometimes. And
A lot of times.
so I get it. So it's like because it's not, it's just one man army. You're a one man army. So you're doing everything. That makes sense. Okay. So I guess I have a better understanding of when you lay down.
Yeah,
when
when I lay
visualize, you're just like, I don't want to work.
I don't want to grind, bro. I don't want this constant
This
grind.
kind of grind. You
I don't want
want
this
to
kind of
grind,
grind.
but just not like everything included, all inclusive.
Exact, dude. We're doing so much things, bro. Like, I want something to work out, so like I don't have to put so much fucking pressure in a
But
day.
technically, Pal Dudes has been working out incredibly because you're making profit every month.
Yeah, but I think about things different. Yeah, maybe in numbers wise, like in terms of like statistics. Yeah, this has been amazing.
But you don't want to grow this business that much either way, right?
Yeah, I think like in the next 2 or 3, I think by next year, wherever I'm at, that's gonna be my cap. I think so. I don't know. Never know, right? But I think that's gonna be my cap.
Okay, and you feel like you're on track to that destination?
Yeah, I think I'm on track to that destination.
God willing. Okay, so that's
God
fine.
willing. God willing.
That's good then. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because there's at least a level of assurance and guarantee that this will happen as long as you keep putting in X amount of hours.
Yeah, I hope so, bro. Inventory is a very difficult thing right now. Inventory is very shitty, and like my business thrives on good inventory. So I mean, there's ebbs and flows.
Yeah, that's understandable because you don't know anytime you get a truckload, you don't know what it's gonna have.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
It's like a box of chocolate.
Yeah,
you never know
the
what
last
you're
2
gonna
truckloads
get.
have not been great. So it's like that makes me fearful. I've done 26 truckloads, I think now, and last 2 have been like I haven't felt good about them since the beginning.
26 truckloads.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And I don't feel great about the last 2, and that gives me anxiety.
And that's
right?
out of your control. You can't control that.
Exactly, but that means that can affect my future.
How do you okay? There's a lot of elements in this business that you don't have control over.
Exactly.
So you just gotta deal with the apples you get.
And I thought I was thinking about this morning because the supplier told me, he was like, what did he say? He said the RFPs, request for proposals to these major retailers, has been shaken up this year. That's what he told me.
Why is that?
He says that every year. I asked him, I was like, why is that? Like, what's the root? And he said that every year they have RFPs. So new people come in, request for proposals from Target, Amazon, whatever, to become a direct contract holder supplier. And or the current contract holders go in and say, I don't want this specific warehouse. I'll keep these 2 warehouses. Meaning Amazon has tons of warehouses around the country, right? Say you have 10 warehouses that you pull truckloads from. Say 2 of them, not so great. You don't like them anymore. You want to give those up. So now there's 2 warehouses that are up for grabs for new people that want to be contract holders. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So RFP shaken up, meaning people don't want their warehouses, so new people can come in and grab them. That's it. And so what that means is, okay, if you had a supplier, he now gave up his supply to somebody else. Now you got to go find somebody else to supply you. And you don't know who this person is. Because there's no list on the internet that says, hey, these 3 guys deal all Amazon contracts. These 4 guys deal all Target contracts. These 6 guys deal all Home Depot. There's no list. You have to go door knocking. You have to network. And it's like, so every year there's like this grind, this constant, where do I find my supply? Where do I find my supply? Where do I find my supply? And it's tough.
So the people getting the truckloads are having a hard time finding the supply.
Well,
Kind of, or
just the quality of it coming on to right now, it's tough and it's more expensive.
think Donald Trump is to blame for some of this stuff.
I was asked that the other day by a customer.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know the
Because
answer.
tariffs?
That's what people are saying. I don't know if that's the answer. I think part of it is the answer because
Yeah, it makes sense.
what these retailers are doing is, so during the pandemic, there was a lot of issues in supply chain on the port, right? We saw in Long Beach port, we saw fucking 50, 100, 200 ships waiting to get docked.
Yeah.
All these trucks have billions in inventory. Each truck, each ship has billions in inventory waiting. And so what these people were doing, these Targets, Home Depot, Amazon, what they were doing is they were ordering more than they needed because they were anticipating a 2-month hold.
Shortage, right? Yeah.
And so they ordered too much, realized, hey, this is too much. We actually don't have that many people wanting this. And so they would ship it to us. And that's good quality stuff because it's never been touched. And so during the
You,
pandemic,
the liquidation businesses, right?
what?
That's what you mean.
No.
What
So
did you mean by who's the you in this?
Me?
By us? Yeah.
Yeah,
You mean
shipped
like
to
the
us to liquidate. Yeah,
liquidation
sorry, you're right. Yeah.
business. Yeah.
Yeah, so we were shipped the good quality stuff because it was a just in case model. That's what it's called, JIC, a just in case model.
Yeah.
So people were ordering too much.
We
Just
talked about
in
this on the podcast 3 years ago.
3 years
just in
ago?
case, yeah.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
So there's just in case
Supply
and just in
chain.
time
Yeah.
model.
Yeah.
And so in business, there's ebbs and flows to it. Sometimes they'll go to just in time. So I think what we're doing right now is they're doing a just in time model, meaning they have just enough inventory to supply the customers on the basis that they need it right now, right? So they're paying. It's the financial model is basically because if there's a 25% tariff, why do they want to pay 25% more money? Doesn't make sense. So what they'll end up doing is they'll go ahead and string this money along. Eventually, they're going to need the same amount of inventory, but they'll string the money along and push it back because they don't need to pay all that up front.
That makes
Does
sense.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I'm being cohesive.
I think that makes sense for the
Yeah.
most part. Yeah. So there's a lot of the nature of this business is it's unstable. You, as a person who receives these truckloads, don't know what you're going to get most of the time.
Yeah. You can make good money up front, but it's just you learn that.
I think the
tiring.
best scenario is just to be the guy who sells the truckload, right?
Best scenario is to be that guy, but it's a forever grind.
Like you said, you have to find the warehouses that want the stuff, and
You have to find the customers and continue to supply them every single day. And this is like a 7 days a week business. So even these guys, I mean, one of my suppliers, he lost his contract with Amazon. He was like, he had so many customers contacting him because he was like the guy for Amazon. And he didn't even care if I wanted a truckload or not. Like I was asking him questions. I asked him, this is in the very beginning when I didn't know how any of this worked. And these are very common questions for people getting in. It's like, okay, do you supply Amazon? His answer is yes. Okay, where is it based out of? I have a warehouse out in California. Am I able to visit? No. Am I able to see what's on? Or do you have pictures or videos of example of what's on the pallets? No. And then he won't text back. He won't even be like, are you still interested? Just no. And I'm like, well, how do I know there's stuff on these pallets? He says, you don't. And that's it. Like, he does not give a shit because he has so many people contacting him,
right?
and he's okay with just shipping. Boom.
So
boom,
then it makes
boom,
it easier for him,
moving.
you know, because he always has people interested, right?
Not necessarily, bro, because now you're dealing with millions of dollars in inventory. And the thing is, if you're dealing with millions and millions of dollars in inventory and a few truckloads don't work out, that's $20,000-$30,000 that you just fucked up on. Me, if I fuck up on one product, that's what, $100, $200? It's a lot easier to eat that.
So you came across this business. I understand you started garage sale and you know you
one
started
pallet.
yeah. So what made you want to do the warehouse? I never even asked you that, huh? Was that like a contract? You just needed money because you quit your job. That's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
And I thought I enjoyed garage sales.
Yeah.
I just enjoyed the hustle and bustle of life and just doing that boom, 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 boom. The warehouse, I just figured I can make more money if I just get more inventory. And so warehouse was just natural.
Okay, I see. So it was the most reliable form of an income
Correct.
at the time,
And control my time.
and you
too.
worked for yourself. You didn't
Yeah.
have a boss.
So it's like, why not?
Why not
go
take the
for it.
leap and start an actual business? And yeah,
Very low risk, right? Now I'm
Yeah.
at a point like I just continue what I'm doing, and at least like I'm moving. But at the end of it, if I don't hypothetically, if I don't even want to do this next year, right? I don't even want to do the warehouse next year.
you made money, profit.
I made money, and there's no risk. I now have to have a bunch of excess inventory. I'll just liquidate and make a little bit of profit, and I can move on. So right now it's low risk. But if you have millions and millions of dollars in inventory, you can't just up and leave. How are you gonna? You have 100,000 square feet of product. You're dealing 100,000 square feet of product. You're dealing $100,000 minimum a month in rent. In rent, your 3 years, 5 year lease goes by.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
That makes sense. So there's risk in every business, but this business tends the higher the growth, the more the risk.
Exactly.
It just gets like, which is true for every
Exactly.
business naturally, but
naturally,
this is more.
but the cost
intensive.
isn't necessarily true for every business.
Right. The
This
cost
car-
of expansion. Yeah.
Because this is a very overhead heavy business because all the inventory you have.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have, my point is, if you have hundreds of thousands of inventory in a 100,000 square foot building, okay, first of all, you need to try to get rid of this inventory. Your lease is up, or sorry, let's think about it like this. This guy lost his contract, okay, which can happen. Amazon could do whatever the fuck they want once the contract's over next year, right?
Yeah.
Now you have 100,000 square foot
Of nothing.
warehouse of nothing or trash truckloads that you're buying from brokers because you can't figure out how to fulfill this inventory need. How are you fulfilling $100,000 a month in cost just in space?
Yeah.
That's tough.
No.
It's tough.
Yeah, especially because if people don't enjoy doing this, they're like, "What am I doing?" Because it's not the product that excites them, right? It's the opportunity to make money from it that excites them.
Exactly. It's an opportunity to make money.
That's tricky. Interesting.
Very
but
tricky.
for you, at the scale that you are, I think this has probably been the biggest life lesson for you, right? Of all the things you've
Yes.
done, this has probably taught you the most.
This has taught me how to not be green.
Right.
And dude, in the beginning when I was doing like the commercial real estate stuff, very green, dude, like
Green meaning like just
new,
amateur.
just like amateur
yeah.
kid. Now, I think before when I would speak, like there's some maturity in me, but it's not like I knew what I was talking about. Now, since something worked for me, I have more confidence in my tone when I'm speaking to somebody.
So it's giving you confidence
Yeah.
in yourself and your abilities.
And that's the only reason I think people are green. Not even because they don't know the information. It's just because they
They're
don't
not
have
confident.
confidence. Yeah, they feel imposter
They're
syndrome.
saying something, but internally they don't really believe it. They don't
Correct.
buy it themselves, and people can smell that.
Correct.
Which is the definition of being green
Yes.
and having an imposter syndrome.
Exactly.
It's a good point, man.
Yeah.